Hi guys. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the coaching models that we talked about in um, the reflective coach, which is nonlinear pedagogy. Um, to be honest, it's something that I haven't really heard of before, mainly because before university I've only really thought there was one coaching method. But now, after studying at university for a year and a half, I've noticed that this isn't the case anymore. Um, So nonlinear pedagogy, um, what is it really? Well, it's a method that relies on the outcomes as opposed to the method that is used. So, for example, say I was playing football and I took a shot at goal. If I toe poke the ball, that wouldn't usually be the correct technique to be using. But if the ball ended up in the back of the net, then using in relation to nonlinear pedagogy, there's not a problem with that. As long as the outcome is there, it doesn't really matter what method is used or what technique is used, to be honest. Um, the focus, as I mentioned, is on the outcome. Therefore, an example of a professional player doing this is Ronaldinho against Chelsea. It was sort of a out of the blue moment where, as opposed to striking the ball as you would do normally, he used his toe poke to score the goal. So obviously, it's not the correct technique that should be used to strike the ball. As usually you strike the ball with your laces to get power, or side of your foot to get accuracy. He just toe poked it, but the end result was a goal. So there isn't really a problem with that because the outcome was a goal, which was what they wanted. Um, Therefore, different movement patterns can be used to get the end outcome, really. So if we use the example that we used in the lecture of table tennis, two different players were playing, one a tall player and one a short player, but both of the players were using different techniques in order to succeed at the sport. So the taller player was standing further back from the table, obviously because he's a taller person, sorry. Therefore, he's going to have to get over the ball to get it back over the net. Whereas a shorter person could stand closer to the net because the ball was coming at a much lower height to him because he was a smaller person. He can get over the ball easier. Um, so that just proves that the technique that is being used doesn't matter as long as the end result is there, to be honest. Um, this does give players freedom, in my opinion, to express the different techniques. So, in a coaching session, for example, if I was doing a shooting drill, I wouldn't tell the players the technique to be used if I was doing nonlinear pedagogy. All I'd ask them to do is to score the goal, and it doesn't matter what technique they use, as long as that ball ends up in the back of the net, that's all that matters. I know in the lecture there was a graph that was shown. So on one side was the standard of play, and the other one was the time. So if it was linear pedagogy, um, then the line would go diagonally straight up. There'd be no fluctuating or anything like that. However, if it was non-linear pedagogy, for example, the line would be up and down, up and down, up and down, here, there, and everywhere. But the end result was that the standard of play was higher during the same amount of time as the linear pedagogy because you're constantly up and down, up and down. For me, this can improve motivation with players in sessions because you as a coach aren't constantly shouting at them different techniques to use. This technique's right, this one's not. They can choose the technique, and if they score a goal, then it isn't a problem. Um, it's not really an issue for players that different techniques are used because they think their technique is the right one. But obviously, if you're using a different method, such as block practice, you concentrate on the method and the techniques being used, and that technique has to be mastered before you can use that within a game's scenario. So, I'm just thinking now, how would I bring this into a session of my own? And my sport is football. So, if, like I mentioned, it was a shooting drill, You can either side foot the ball into the corners for accuracy, or put your laces through the ball for power. But if I was using non-linear pedagogy, I wouldn't give a technique. I'd say the end result is you need to get the ball in the back of that net, and that's all that matters. As long as you do that, I don't mind the technique that's being used. So, unless you aren't achieving the outcomes, then I don't mind what techniques you use. If you don't achieve it, then I'll step in and help you with various techniques that you can then choose to use. It's basically just about leaving the players to get on with it, really. Just leave them to perform a technique, and if they score, brilliant. If they don't, then you step in and help them. But I was trying to think about the team that I coach, along with a friend on the course, and I'll have a discussion with him about the sessions that we're obviously going to plan and what techniques can be used. For example, block practice, constraint-led coaching, nonlinear pedagogy, all of these. We'll discuss these and then decide on the most appropriate one that we think will benefit the players in the most effective way, really. Before coming to university, I didn't really know about the different types of coaching methods. But after being at uni for a year and a half now, nearly, and it's now known to me that there's many different methods, all of which are successful and have been proven to be successful. But I've just got to find the right one that suits me and obviously the team that I coach, really. So I'm going to use them and find the one that's most beneficial to me. But first, I'm going to start with this nonlinear pedagogy, because it's the latest one that I've done. So if I get my head around this and use it in my sessions, hopefully it'll be beneficial to my development as a coach. So cheers for listening, guys, and if you've got any feedback, please do let me know. Thanks.